Now today we discuss some of the topics in CPC. As you all know, CPC meant for procedure to be followed by the civil courts in adjudicating the original suits, right? Regarding the scheme of the code, it contained several sections and orders. In orders, they also mentioned certain rules. Enactment after 2002 Salem Bar Advocates Bar Association case, the procedure has been curtailed. The delay has been curtailed. Like Order 6 Rule 17 has removed only exceptional cases just before the commencement of the trial. Only Order 6 Rule 17 applications have to be filed, and there is a time frame for filing written statement, that is 30 days, and it can be extendable up to 90 days. Several measurements are taken by way of 2002 enactment. The date of amendment is 2/7/2002, right? Several times a question is asked in CPC, that is decree, order and judgment, right? What is a decree? Section 2 contains definitions. Section 2 defines decree. Decree means it is a formal expression. It's not a reasoned expression. It's a formal expression of an adjudication so far as the courts expressing it conclusively determines the rights of the parties. Decree must be conclusive one. It should not be a contingent one. It should not say that if plaintiff produces this document, his suit is going to be decreed ani cheppagodu, or plaintiff files any document, he is adjudged as owner ani cheppagodu. It should conclusively determine the rights of the parties in respect of all or any of the matters in controversy. The court may also silent regarding some of the aspects. Court silent kuda undochu. The presumption is if the court is silent on any aspect, it is deemed to be refused or relief iyanattu lekka. So in respect of all or any of the matters in controversy in any suit may be either preliminary or final. Decrees may be preliminary or final. What is a preliminary decree? Example of a preliminary decree. Injunction is final decree. Perpetually defendant is enjoined to respect the right of the plaintiff. అది పర్మనెంట్. ఇంకా దాంట్లో ఇంకా జరగాల్సిన ఏం లేదు. పార్టీషన్ సూట్ ఫర్ పార్టీషన్ is the best example for preliminary decree. In partition suit, what happens? The court, after deciding the case, after pronouncing the judgment, normally decrees have to be prepared within 15 days of delivery of the judgment. Judge writes the judgment basing on the pleadings, and after framing issues and after taking evidence, each issue will be answered by the judge by way of an order, by way of a reasoned order. Why he is accepting the case of the plaintiff or why he is refusing the case of the plaintiff ani detail ga rasar. After pronouncing the judgment, he signs the judgment. Then preparation of decree is the clerical job. Decree ni evaru prepare chesaru? Court staff will prepare the decree. The time allowed by CPC is 15 days. Within 15 days, the court staff will prepare the decree. It should contain the name of the court, date, name of the judge, and full description of the parties, when the plaint is presented, when it is numbered, what is the claim, what was the court fee paid, and what are the reliefs granted, and also cost memo, date of decree, and it won't contain the appendix of evidence. Judgment contains the appendix of evidence. అంటే oral evidence PWs 1, 2, 3 అయితే ఎంత, డిపెండెంట్స్కి DWs, తర్వాత జడ్జ్మెంట్లో ఇవి కూడా ఉంటుంది, డాక్యుమెంట్స్ కూడా, ఎగ్జిబిట్స్ A1 to ప్లెయింటిఫ్ అయితే A సిరీస్, డిపెండెంట్ అయితే B సిరీస్, కమిషనర్ అయితే C సిరీస్లో. దెన్ కోర్ట్ స్టాఫ్ హ్యావ్ టు ప్రిపేర్ ద డిగ్రీ. It is an abstract form of the judgment. ఒక షెడ్యూల్ లాగా ఉంటుందండి. జడ్జిమెంట్లో జడ్జి గారు ఏ రిలీఫ్స్ గ్రాంట్ చేశారో చూడగానే కనిపించడానికి. ఈపీ వేయగానే పర్పస్ ఆఫ్ ప్రిపరేషన్ ఆఫ్ డిక్రీ ఈజ్ ఈపీ ఫైల్ చేయడానికి జడ్జిమెంట్ కాపీ ఫైల్ చేయనవసరం లేదు. ఓన్లీ డిక్రీ కాపీ ఫైల్ చేస్తే సరిపోతుంది. డిక్రీ కాపీలో ఏ రిలీఫ్స్, ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఏ రోజు నుంచి ఎంత వర్క్ చేశారు, పోస్ట్ డిక్రీ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఎంత, ప్రీ ఫైలింగ్ ఆఫ్ ది సూట్ ఎప్పుడు, పెండెంటలిటీ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఎంత, అవన్నీ ఉంటుంది. ఇఫ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఏ మనీ సూట్, ఇఫ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఎ సూట్ ఫర్ ఇంజంక్షన్, వాట్ వాజ్ ది prohibitory order passed by the court, that will be contained in the decree. So basing on that, EP can be filed. Now the definition says it is a formal expression of an adjudication. Courts expressing it, it conclusively determines the rights of the parties. The court may decide all the facts in issue, all the matters in issue, or it may refrain from doing so. So it may postpone, it may reject the issues in dispute, right? Issues in the suit, issues involved in the suit, and it may be preliminary or final. In this definition there are two exclusions and two inclusions. Exclusions are any adjudication from which an appeal lies as an appeal from an order. Merely because an appeal is allowable, an order cannot be called as a decree. It says any adjudication from which an appeal lies as an appeal from an order. For example, injunction IA లో టెంపరరీ ఇంజంక్షన్ ఉంటుంది. టెంపరరీ ఇంజంక్షన్ IAలో ఆర్డర్ డిస్మిసల్ ఆఫ్ ఆర్డర్ చేసినప్పుడు ఇట్ ఈస్ అపీలబుల్ బిఫోర్ డిస్ట్రిక్ట్ జడ్జ్. ఇఫ్ డిస్ట్రిక్ట్ జడ్జ్ passes the order, high court is the competent authority, CMA. So merely because an appeal is allowed, it cannot be called as a decree. It has to be called as an order. And any order of dismissal for default, if a suit is dismissed for default, it cannot be called as a decree. These are two exclusions. And inclusions are, it shall be deemed to include rejection of plaint and the determination of any question within section 144. Why these two things have been included? Rejection of plaint. Plaint can be rejected on what grounds? If it doesn't disclose any cause of action, it is barred by any law basing on the averment made in the plaint. These are the several grounds. If the plaint is rejected, what is the remedy? Remedy is revision, and it has to be presented before proper court. So it also include rejection of plaint. If a court passes an order, it should contain the reasons, and it should also mention, it should also pass a decree enabling the party to go further, to proceed further. And another one is any determination within section 144. What is section 144? Restitution. If a money suit is decreed, for example, A filed a suit against B. A won the case, B preferred appeal, and he also lost there, and B preferred second appeal. Before that, A executed the decree and he got the money from B. Before disposal of the second appeal, B got his money by virtue of the decree. And in the second appeal, the decree has been reversed. The trial court judgment has been reversed. Then what is the remedy open for the defendant? He has to move an application before which court? Restitution has to be done by trial court which passed the decree. So after determining the issue, if the court passes any, it is by way of an interlocutory application. He need not institute a separate suit. If the court determines the application filed under section 144, it amounts to a decree. Why it is a decree? Because he can file an EP over it. B can file an EP. He need not go for a separate suit. By way of an interlocutory order, if the court decides the right of B of recovering the money back in view of the reversing of the judgment, he can file an EP and get back his money from a plaintiff who lost in the second appeal. It also applies to other cases also. For example, land is there. If the land is conveyed to plaintiff by the defendant, and if the defendant succeeds in the second appeal, then restitution has to be ordered. Defendant has to be put in possession. By way of making an application under section 144, he can get back his land. And the order adjudication made in section 144 application amounts to decree. Okay. So far as the definition is concerned, it is a formal expression of an adjudication. So far as courts expressing it conclusively determines the rights of the parties in respect of all or any of the matters in controversy, and it shall be deemed to include rejection of plaint and also any decision under section 144. You can write in your own words also. Then it shall not include any order which is appealable, like an appeal from an order and dismiss for default. This is with regard to decree. If a question comes, what are the kinds of decree? Ante preliminary decree and final decree. One more category is also there, partly preliminary and partly final. Preliminary decree ki example, a decree in a suit for partition suit. Explanation says, what is preliminary decree? Ante some more things have to be done after passing the decree. Generally, normally what happens in a suit for partition, judge will decide the shares of the parties. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4. These sisters filed suit for partition against brothers. So each plaintiff will be allotted 1/8 share. If they are all are equally entitled to a share, then judge will pass a preliminary decree regarding 8 acres of land. He simply writes the judgment like this: plaintiffs are entitled to 1/8 share each. That is the preliminary decree. Thereafter, they have to apply to the court for passing a final decree, and before that, what is the step has to be done? And a commissioner has to be appointed for dividing the land into the shares of the parties as mentioned in the preliminary decree. For example, దీంట్లో షేర్స్ తక్కువ వస్తుంది. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ 1/8 అయితే కొంతమందికి తక్కువ కూడా రావచ్చు, డిపెండింగ్ ఆన్ దేర్ ఎంటైటిల్మెంట్ యాజ్ పర్ సక్సెషన్ యాక్ట్. Then commissioner will be appointed. He divides the land and he has to submit a report to the court. Thereafter, court will allot the land, and thereafter a final decree will be passed. After collecting the stamp duty over their value of the shares, court will engross a final decree on the stamp papers. That is equivalent to a title document, right? So some more things, all these things have to be done after passing the preliminary decree. So merely passing a preliminary decree completely won't dispose of the suit. Completely dispose అయినట్టు కాదు. Merely allotting share would not dispose of the suit completely. Some more things have to be done. What are the things? Division of the land and allotting the shares and passing a final decree. So that is why it is called as preliminary decree. After the exercise has been done, another decree will be passed. It is final decree. Suit for partition. Another example is suit for specific performance. Specific performance లో కూడా preliminary decree, final decree ఉంటుంది. Preliminary decree ఏమవుతుంది? Defendant will be directed to execute a document. Then defendant has to execute the document. Thereafter final decree will be passed. If the defendant refuses, what is the remedy? Court will steps into the shoes of the defendant and execute the document. Court officer will execute the document. Okay. And partly preliminary, partly final. Is there any example? Can anybody say? Immovable property? Exactly. Very good. Suit for recovery of possession of immovable property and suit for recovery of mean profits. Suit for recovery of possession file చేసినప్పుడు some more relief can be asked. That is mean profits. What are mean profits? Mean profits definition చూద్దాం. Mean profits are those profits which the defendant acquired by remaining in the wrongful, by remaining wrongfully in possession of the property. If A is having 1 acre of land, that has been occupied by B in the absence of A, and he is in possession of the land. A filed a suit basing on title, and court passes a decree. Mr. B, and you restore the possession to A అని ఇస్తుంది. So far as that relief is concerned, it is final. ఇంకేం అవసరం లేదు, ఓన్లీ డైరెక్షన్ ఈజ్ దేర్. The second prayer in the plaint is recovery of mean profits. 3 years వరకు అడగొచ్చండి లిమిటేషన్. 3 years వరకు మెయిన్ ప్రాఫిట్స్ క్లెయిమ్ చేయొచ్చు. Then court will direct B to pay mean profits also. Then what is required? What is the further steps to be done? ఇంకేముంది, అప్పుడు కూడా అది కూడా కంప్లీటే కదా మరి. The further step is ascertaining the mean profits. How to ascertain the mean profits? For example, how much of income B earned during the wrongful possession. That is the mean profits. Then a commissioner will be appointed. He would ascertain the value of the profits earned by B during his wrongful possession. Then after submitting the report, court will direct B to pay certain sum of money to A. Those are mean profits. So in case of recovery of possession and for mean profits, the decree may be preliminary, partly and partly final. That is in the definition itself. It says a decree is preliminary when further proceedings have to be taken before the suit can be completely disposed of, like partition suit. It is final when such adjudication completely disposes of the suit. After allotting the shares, a final decree is passed, then the suit is said to be completely disposed of. Then it may be partly preliminary or partly final. That is the definition with regard to decree. Now decree holder means any person in whose favor a decree has been passed or an order capable of execution has been made. In the definition regarding the exclusion A, 2A says it shall not include any order which is appealable annar. But when coming to the definition of decree holder, it says a person in whose favor a decree has been passed or an order capable of execution is made annar. What is capable of being execution? Can you give any example? దాంట్లోనేమో ఎక్స్క్లూడ్ చేశారండి, అన్ని ఆర్డర్స్ కాదు అన్నారు. కానీ డిక్రీ హోల్డర్ సమ్ ఆర్డర్ విచ్ ఈస్ కేపబుల్ ఆఫ్ బీయింగ్ ఎగ్జిక్యూషన్లో కూడా డిక్రీ హోల్డర్ అని అంటారు అన్నారు. డిక్రీ హోల్డర్ కూడా వచ్చిందండి క్వశ్చన్లో. ఇప్పుడు ఈ డెఫినేషన్ 2 lines రాస్తే 2 marks. డిక్రీ హోల్డర్ మీన్ పర్సన్, ఏ పర్సన్ ఇన్ హూస్ ఫేవర్ ఏ డిక్రీ హ్యాస్ బీన్ పాస్డ్ ఆర్ అన్ ఆర్డర్ కేబుల్ అని రాస్తే 2 marks వచ్చేస్తాయి. ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఏంటంటే హిందూ మ్యారేజ్ యాక్ట్లో పెండెంటిలిటీ మెయింటెనెన్స్ కోసం ఐఏ ఇస్తారు కదా, దాంట్లో కూడా ఒక ఆర్డర్ పాస్ చేస్తారు. దెన్ స్ట్రైట్ అవే ఈపీ కెన్ బి ఫైల్డ్ బేసింగ్ ఆన్ దట్ ఆర్డర్. సో ఏ పర్సన్ ఇన్ హూస్ ఫేవర్ an order capable of being execution is made, then he can be called as a decree holder. Then the other party would become judgment debtor.